want to talk to you guys next, or, you know, I want to listen along to Kale's podcast with you guys. So in today's episode of what I keep calling it the Frenemies podcast, but it's called Karma and Chaos or something like that she has with who is that lady? Becky. So let's take a listen to it together. Becky's really trying to defend Kale against all of the haters, right? And listen, that's what a friend does for a friend. So that's normal. And Javi, as you were aware, he went on this Instagram live rampage against Kale and her parenting and her latest boyfriend and stuff. And that is what Becky is referring to in today's episode of Karma and Chaos. Let's listen along together. And again, if you're enjoying today's episode of The Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you enjoy my content. Okay, here goes. Hang on. Let me know, please, live chat, if you can hear it properly. Okay, I'm pressing play now. Hello, play.
And it should be son that is going to be around someone like him.
Oh, hang on. You know what my problem is? I'm a little bit of a crackhead. I listen to, you know what speed I listen to podcasts at? 2.5x speed. So let me go ahead and slow it down so that it doesn't have to be that damn, hang on. Listen, I was just listening to Glorilla, okay, and my salsa dancing playlist. Please do not judge. We listen, we don't judge. So let me go ahead and hide this for a second and then pull up the thing. I'm going to put it at 1.5 because one thing about Kail and her friends is they speak in slow motion. So I'm putting it back up. Here you go. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it now and it won't be too quick for you guys, okay? So let me put it like this because it's not really showing much of anything here. What else?
Gets to that.
Stop. I haven't cried today, so I don't want to cry today. I don't want to cry today.
But you know what I mean, though? I'm fortunate that my son is going to be exposed and be around such loving people, and him being one of them is really meaningful to me.
And I have always felt that way about you. Like my kids get to be around you, so it's a huge compliment to me. Not to me, but it's a huge compliment for the situation, or I don't even know how to word it. I'm not saying I'm being complimented. I'm saying it's a compliment that you want to be around, you want your son to be around my son.
Yeah. I think that it just goes to show too, and I don't want to like speak too much onto this because there's separate topics, right? Like I think that there is some type of irony that this has been planned to come out for a while, but I think people needed to see like what kind of kids you are raising and like the love and care that you're giving to them, because obviously with everything that has come out recently, and just that has been the hardest part for me, is because I know your kids and like I know the love that is in that house that they're being raised in. And so I feel like this is just a glimpse for people to understand like why it feels so upsetting that like people question you as a mother. Get it. No one here agrees with Kail's dating life. So I'm on your side.
I don't even know that I do.
So there you go, right? We start off by saying no one here agrees with Kail's dating life, which I think is fair. Listen, one thing about Becky is that she's upfront with Kail whenever she feels a certain way. And I think that sometimes, I worry that it'll lead to another fallout, because I think the last time they fell out was specifically for this reason, right? That Kail was on some BS over Chris. Becky wasn't cool with it. She voiced her opinions and Kail dropped her, right? So here she is again saying, listen, nobody messes with the way that Kail dates. It's weird. We'll admit that, right? However, she's a good mom. And this is similar to what Lindsay said on the Coffee Convos podcast earlier this week, or should I say last week? She said the same thing. Listen, we don't really agree with the way this lady dates. Like there's a lot of issues behind the scenes and we voice her stuff, but in public, we're not going to throw her to the wolves, right? Which, hey, let's continue. Sorry, that's a suction cup, by the way, from this.
Yeah, we get it. I get it. We get it. But dude, I've said this so many fucking times on this podcast. Anytime I get the opportunity to be in Kail's presence at her house with her kids, it makes me want to have a million fucking kids because of how much love her kids show her. And like, they are so, even Kail herself, like she is so present with them when she is with them. And you guys don't get to see that. And I know that it sounds like I'm just fucking blowing smoke up her ass, but I promise you that is not the kind of person that I am. I wouldn't have people around me that I would question like their morals and their values too.
And that's the thing too, is like people don't want to be friends with bad moms. So it's not even about enabling anybody. It's like, I don't want to be friends with someone who's not a good mom because I don't align myself with that. Yeah. So for me to say, oh, people are enabling Kail. Well, I think it's two separate conversations. People are allowed to stay my friend and not agree with me, right? Like that's just a part of life. But being a bad mom, I think is like, nobody wants to be friends with someone that's a bad mom. I also just like to say, if you run it back a couple months, you literally asked me, did I train my kids to sit at the table? Did I train my kids to do, this was like months before that. So like, I've
been saying this for months now too. I spent a week, not even a full week, with Kail and her kids. It was during the school week. I was exhausted when I got home from all of the driving that she does. It was 3 days of driving 5 or whatever, how many kids, 3 kids, 4 kids to different schools in the morning, sitting in waiting lines because the timing is off by a little bit. Then after school, picking up kids, making sure that they're getting food, dropping them kids off. Maybe one wants to go home. Another one wants to go to a practice. I was exhausted. I spent 4 days with you. It really pisses me off when women are successful and they are discredited for their success because it takes them away from their children. When like normal people like myself, Leah, Alessandra, like we are all in a position where like we won't be as active or present in our kids' lives. Well, maybe not because I work from home, but because of the work, like normal people work 9 to 5s, like normal people are working. And so to say that you can't drop your kid off or you can't be at practice discredits you from being a good mom is just a slap in the face to so many mothers that are working 3 shifts or working 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. Like it.
You know, this is the thing about Kail and her friends, and she did this on the Coffee Convos podcast, which I'm going to be recapping for my channel members later on. Like they only half address things. Right. So here it's, the soccer thing, like there are so many women out there who are working and that makes them miss or be late for their children's games. That's true, right? It doesn't mean that they're bad moms. However, JAVI specifically said that the reason why Kail was late was because she was running around with her latest boyfriend and that she brought him around to this game with her. So maybe he made her run late, right? Like maybe he was trying to pick out the right outfit, to show up to this game or something like that. Maybe I don't know, but he had something to do with it. And even if you take the lateness out of it, the main issue that JAVI has is that his children are constantly being introduced to random new men that she is dating. And that is a very dangerous thing. Children are very vulnerable people. Right. And so when you as a parent are dating, you have to be extremely careful about who you let around your children. That is like a baseline principle that Kail has proven time and time again that she does not give an F about. And the fact that we're talking about, moms work and sometimes they run late for things who cares? The main issue that you guys are circumventing on purpose is Kail bringing yet another man around these children. That has still has yet to be addressed on either podcast. So what are we even doing here at this point? I don't want to hear about late this, late that. I don't care. The main issue is that here you go again with yet another random man in your children's lives. We saw the photos come out that you were printing and posting on your walls around your children of this man. That is not normal. That is not okay. Right? Very, very weird stuff. And so I know that, we typically around here like to champion Becky for when she does tell the truth about Kail and kind of put her in her place. And so she did when she said that nobody agrees with her weird dating habits, right? Like, fair enough. But she's also defending Kail and covering up for Kail by not addressing the elephant in the room, that Kail's children have been throughout their lives at like the highest risk that I've seen on this franchise of horrific things happening to them, right? Because of all of these random men that have been brought in and out of their lives. That's not okay. Tripp says bringing men in and out of and having babies with all of them exactly isn't what I'd call a good mom, but go ahead, right? It's not. It's unstable behavior. It's scary behavior. It's behavior that is indicative of severe, what I would like to consider or label as severe mental issues. This is not normal in any capacity. It's not. I will give it to Kail, though, that she does acknowledge it in the Coffee Convos Out podcast. She said, yeah, it is true. What I've done here is not normal and it should not be normalized, right? Like, that's fair enough. Keisha says, Kail is going to be Kail. Becky, get your money, right? RL says chauffeuring doesn't equal good mom, right? Like, what is this? They're covering up the main point here, and it is not okay. Your children are in danger when you are constantly bringing random people into their life and into their home. And even if this man is not, because Javi did say he was under the impression that this man was going to live with them, that's terrifying. The last guy moved in within like 2 weeks. That already was terrifying enough, right? And then, brought 3 kids with him, right? Pop them out, boom, 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 one after the other. This is physically dangerous and terrifying for the children and, has those kinds of consequences and effects, but psychologically harmful as well. I can't believe this. Anyway, let's get back to it. And I'm going to continue to post you guys' comments as well. Okay. And, ooh, look at this. Green, where are you from? I've never seen this name before. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Grain, right? Grain. I'm so behind. Yes, Kale was exposed for having yet another boyfriend. He has a TikTok account. He's this fisherman. His TikTok is called The Flyest Fisherman. And so she was caught like commenting on all his videos, flirting with him and stuff. Like, it was this huge scandal. I think it would have been about 3 weeks ago now, because it was just before I left for my vacation. So let me pull this back up, and then we're going to continue along with the rest of what the girls had to say here. Okay.
Really, like, that really fucking bothers me, because like there's so many people in this world who work tirelessly day and night just to keep their kids alive, and like they're also struggling with not being present. And so when you have someone that's discrediting someone as a mother because of simple and small things like that, like not showing up to practice, whatever that is, I think about the everyday people that might hear that, and they're going to feel like, are they a bad mom? Is that how people are looking at them? And that's just not fucking true.
And with that being said, I know that a lot of people ask me how I manage having 7 kids, and there's no way I can bond with all of them individually, and there's no way that I can be there for all of them. And I think whether you have 1 child or you have 7 children, so many people we all have mom guilt. Every single one of us has mom guilt, whether it's 1 child or 12. But the second part of that is, whether you have 1 child or 12 children, I would venture to say that most working parents, relying on either other people or busing systems or neighbors, teammates, whatever, to get you to practices, to sports, to theater, to whatever that looks like. And it's just interesting to me to see how the mentality shifts between a mother's role and a father's role. Like, a father goes on a business trip, that is his job, that's how he provides for the family. It's not okay.
Fucking preach.
Do you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, brother. What do you say?
Hell yeah, brother.
So there you go, you guys. They did not discuss or address the elephant in the room, which is that she has another boyfriend. The children have met this new boyfriend. And that is what all of this is about. She also has not denied that this new boyfriend is supposed to move into her house. What do we care about this soccer game and if you're late or not? There are bigger issues here, right? So when you're only addressing the small things, the inconsequential things, that it shows something, right? Good morning, Farah, Crystal. Nice to see you here. And, you guys are pointing it all out. Like, okay, you drive your kids to and from school. That's great. But that's just, you know what I mean? It's the bare minimum, right? Oh, you get them to sit at the dinner table. That's great. But it's their bare minimum. AJT, listen, the way that Dr. Drew enables these girls. I think that Dr. Drew, given his educational background, he knows that a lot of these people are unhealthy parents, right? But unfortunately, because of his job, he's not able to be honest with them. Anytime he even pushes even just a little bit, the girls snap, they run away. We've seen Kail do it. We've seen Janelle do it and everything. So I do feel for him in that respect, right? Because I do imagine that he feels like a certain level of responsibility as a medical professional, but as a TV star, he could only go so far, unfortunately, right? I think the real person that needs to be held accountable here is Kail's therapist. What the hell have you been telling this girl for 7-8 years now, that she's still making these kinds of life decisions, right? That she's still evading accountability on this level. What is it that do I have any Nigerians in here? What is it that the Nigerians say? Accountability is chasing you, but you run faster, right? It is such a mess. And don't forget, she's been cheating on like every single partner she's ever had, creating this chaos for like, why don't we address these things? Like, what is this? A mess. Hey, YouTube addict, nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Mariah says men are not that great to be with them constantly. Sandra's after my own heart, boo. Grain says, oh, you are Irish. Did you hear I was just in Ireland and I was telling everybody, oh my God, Irish girls are so gorgeous. My friend and I were like, wow, y'all are the world's best kept secret. You guys are gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Ronnie says only 40 something likes and 240 in here. Let's get that up, y'all. If you're enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you enjoy my content. Thanks so much for the update, Ronnie. I really, really appreciate you doing that. Lucky says, is she always on the hunt for men? Because I know. And you know what's so funny? When she was doing her podcast with Farrah, she was still claiming that she doesn't date men with kids, which is ridiculous when you've got 7x4. And then on top of that, we already know that her new boyfriend has at least one kid, right? Like it was rumored that she was paying off his child support, which I think that Teen Mom Chatter wound up taking back that I don't want to say rumor, but like that statement. So she did not pay off his child support. However, he had some sort of child support issue and he already has one child. So I think she finally realized that it is not going to happen. Listen, if you have 1 or 2 children, maybe 3, I think this can work, right? But then when you've got 7 and this kind of messy of a situation, I cannot imagine a child-free man willingly walking into this. But then again, there was Elijah. But listen, I think Elijah was playing the long con. I wouldn't be surprised if Elijah came after her for some child support. Just saying. Nikki says, I see why they are friends. They know that's not what Javi meant. Exactly. I can't stand when people do this. Like, it's all just smoke and mirrors. Shai says, I feel like Becky has learned her limits with Kale. Yup. And what she can and can't say without being kicked off Kale's fame train. And I think that's what it is. Don't forget that Becky's goal is to live full-time off of this podcast, right? And so she has to stay in line if that is something that she wants to do. I think that she's got to walk a very tight line. She's got a baby on the way, right? So there's only so much you can do. She's doing the best she can within the constraints, right? You do have to be an enabler of some level to stay in Kale's orbit. And thank you so much, Vivian. So nice to see you. Hope your day is off to a great start. Amy says, I literally listen to this podcast because I enjoy hearing Becky call Kale out on her BS, right? I love it too. You know, I actually prefer this one, I think, to Coffee Convos. Well, no, I don't actually. I'm lying. I think I prefer Coffee Convos to this one. But the best one of all was the one that she couldn't make work. The one with V, the Baby Mamas No Drama, was such a good podcast. I'm so sad about that, to be honest with you, that like they ruined it. That always gave us the tea. That kept us fed as far as intel goes. Jada says, Kale reminds me of the Monique video. If you don't work, get another one, right? There's always another one. But listen, I think at this point, she's got to slow down. Thank God she removed her tube, so we at least won't be hearing about new babies from her. But geez, give it a rest.